special mentions in Rolling Stone magazine and Campus Activities magazine, Female Performer of the Year 2004. Randi's music has been featured in films, a commercial directed by Spike Lee, and the hit series Dawson's Creek. Randi's performance credits include appearances at Lincoln Center, the Seattle Opera House, the Walnut Creek Theater, the Joint in Las Vegas, the Japan Center for the Arts in Los Angeles, Place des Arts, maybe that's what it's called, in Montreal, Paramount Studios, the National HRC Dinner honoring Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and hundreds of clubs, theaters, colleges, and universities nationwide. Randi's perhaps best known for her song What Matters, a benefit single that has raised more than $45,000 for the Matthew Shepard Foundation, whose goal is to replace hate with understanding, compassion, and acceptance. A documentary about What Matters has won several film festival awards, and the song was featured in the NBC film, The Matthew Shepard Story. Randi tours year-round promoting her independent music and has successfully made more than 20,000 copies for her original music. Everyone give a warm welcome to Randi Driscoll.
Woo! Keystone! Hey! My front row has got energy. That's pretty cool. How are you? How's Keystone? Nice to see you again. It was here like, I guess I was here like, oh, cameraman. Hey, give him a break. He's doing double duty. He's everything, audio and visual. I was here, I guess, 4 years ago. Is that what we figured out, 3 or 4 years ago? Yes, Lucas, I'm looking at you. You're like, maybe 3. 3. Feels like 2. Feels like just yesterday.
I do 4.
Got it. And I'm happy to be back. I always, so my name is Randi, and I live in California. I live in Huntington Beach, California. That's between like Los Angeles and San Diego. But I'm originally from New Jersey, and when I got the call the first time to play at Keystone, you know, we sort of like try to map out our tour and try to figure out where I'm going, and you know, figured out where it was and saw that it was in Pennsylvania, and looked on a map and realized that was near Clark Summit in Scranton, and my grandmother was actually from this area. So I remember every summer as a little girl coming up to, oh my God, like Wilkes-Barre and Lake Manola and Lake Walpompec and all those places that I couldn't say now, or then, or now. And I would sort of like travel around through the mountains and stop at every little tchotchke shop in the Poconos, you know, driving in the back of her car. And I got really car sick. So I'm trying to get to the part where it's really good memories for me, but a lot of it was me getting car sick in the back of her car. But it was always a beautiful drive. And so when they said, you know, Keystone is like right outside of Clark Summit, I said, oh my God. So coming up here brings back all of these memories for me, and it's just awesome to be back. And I can't get over like how the place has grown. It's very different than it was when I would come up. But my grandmother was a huge inspiration in my life. She was just a pretty remarkable woman with a lot of like piss and vinegar is what they used to say. And she sort of inspired me as a really strong woman through her whole life, and a lot of my music and a lot of what I write about is sort of about living life and not taking things for granted. And a few years ago, she was diagnosed actually with leukemia, and her brother had passed away from the disease, so it was very sad for our family. And but I remember specifically, we went to the doctors, and he sat her down and he said, you know, Alberta, I want to tell you this story about what you have and explain it to you and tell you all of the different, you know, treatments that you can do, treatment options and the whole plan. And he laid it out for her, and he talked to her for, honestly, I'm not kidding, about like 20 minutes. And she listened to him very seriously, and she stared at him, and he talked and talked and talked. And when he was finished, he just sort of sat back in his chair and he said, okay, now, do you have any questions for me? And she said, yes. Very important question. And he said, okay, what is it? And she said, can I still drink? And he said, he didn't had no idea how to take it from this woman. And he said, well, I guess so, sure. And so she did. She went, she did her chemo treatment, and she had one strong gin and tonic every day for the next 2 years. And she beat that disease for 2 years, which was pretty incredible. And you know, when he came back, when he saw her after a year, she was doing really, really well. And he said, you know, Alberta, this is remarkable. Like, how are you doing this? And she said, gin and tonic, the good kind. She was really, a remarkable woman, and sort of her like fight for life and her zest was kind of what kept me going. So driving up here today was just, it was really great. I came by way of New Jersey, and it was great to sort of remember this lady with a lot of fire. And so I'm going to do a song right now to start the night off that I wrote for her. It's about how as just humans, I think it's really natural to sort of sweat the small stuff. You know, we get really caught up in the day-to-day stuff, and there's every reason to. I mean, there's a lot to really bring it down. But whenever that kind of happens and I start thinking like, why me, why now, why don't I have this, why, you know, isn't this happening? I just try to think about the people who have left and what little time, when it really comes down to it, we really have here on this planet. So I'm going to do this for Nana tonight, okay? And it's called There's Always Time for Life. There's always time for Hey, what are you waiting for? Said luck as it ran right past you. Hey, what are you waiting for? Said push as it came to shove. Why are you so angry? bit of an opportunity to drive through your downtown today. I don't know if that was really is there a downtown in Bloom? You're laughing, I don't get it. And I know that right after this gig, Lucas is taking me out to Wellington's. We're hitting that place for a shot, right? And Bell's, that's the place. Or whatever the place is near the Dancing Hot Dog. I don't know. I invited him to the show, but he didn't come. What is he, outside of a diner? No, I'm kidding. I didn't invite him. But I just thought it was really funny because it's not really the summer anymore, and to have the hot dog waving to bring people in off the road, I just thought that was... And that's really all the sights I saw of La Plume, but people assure me that there's more. There's way more. Is there more? Why are you shaking? I missed the Sears Factoryville.
Sears building.
The Sears building in Factoryville. Factoryville, I remember that from growing up. That's another, there's a place in Factoryville that my grandmother used to take. It's like a walk down memory lane. That's what you're getting tonight. This is like my therapy. I'm working it out, so it's cheaper than a therapist. But she used to also, it's like a recurring theme. She used to also take me to a place where she would get, she called them slacks. She'd get her slacks made at a man's place in Factoryville. And the guy there was a man that worked there, and he was very nice to me when I was little, and he always gave me candy that made me sick. So then it wasn't the car, it was just the candy. But I keep coming back. I don't know what it is. Something about this area. I just keep coming back. So I took a little bit of time off. I tour regularly. I tour around and do a lot of colleges, do a lot of clubs and festivals, and I work with a pretty unbelievable few charities that are very near and dear to my heart. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about two of them tonight. That's part of the reason I'm here, especially tonight on October 11th. I took a little bit of time off from touring to work on another project that took me about, well, a little over 9 months to create and release. But I had a little baby girl 2 months ago, and this is my first night away from her, so that's how much I love you, is that I flew across the country to come to La Plume, leaving my little baby girl at home. And so it's fun to be back, and it's really great. It's a crazy thing too when you have, like, just being a mom gives you a really different perspective on things, and it's beautiful. And when she grows up, I was talking to Lucas about this today. I hope that she's in a world that's accepting and that's loving and that has open-mindedness. We were talking about this campus here and kind of like how it feels to be here and to be on this campus. And he said it was, well, I know this from being here before. It's an accepting university, and it's really diverse. And I don't think you know, I travel the country a lot, and places like this, especially in areas that are smaller and out there and kind of in the middle of nowhere, like you all kind of are, to have a sort of a college like that's diverse and just kind of knows what's going on, it's really amazing. So you should really be proud that you're part of this community and that you're part of this campus. It's great, and it's nice to visit a place like that. Because I go to a lot of places, unfortunately, where it's not like that. And so hopefully my daughter will grow up in a world where there's a lot of Keystones. But I'm going to tell you a little story right now about social networking and where it can lead you. So, got that? It's like a PSA, and where it can lead you as you all put your phones down. Years ago, I had a really bad breakup. I have had many bad breakups. That's like CDs 1, 2, 3, and 4. But we'll talk about that later. But I had one of my many bad breakups, and I just couldn't really get over this guy. My friends had heard enough. I was just done hearing about this. So they kind of forced me to go out on a date, and I went out on a date on New Year's Eve, and I took this guy to a party. Took me to a party. Went to a party, and I sort of, we enjoyed our, champagne, and I may have, this is sounding like a theme, it's really not a theme, but I had his champagne, I had my champagne, and then I promptly ran upstairs into a bathroom where I hid out for a few hours, and I sort of text the ex, which is a really bad thing to do. This is my PSA. If you are having any kind of libation or champagne, then please give your cell phone to someone else. Seriously, just give your phone. They're all nodding. They know. But yeah, give it away. It should be a rule. Or your phone should have like a turn-off button. So I was texting the ex for hours, and then I proceeded to kind of fall asleep there in my party dress. And the next morning I woke up, and my friend said, what were you doing last night? And I said, well, something really bad. I was texting the ex, and I know that's terrible. And then I thought about it, and I said, wait a minute, didn't I come with that guy? Didn't I come with someone? And they said, yeah, you did. And I said, where is he? And they said, he's downstairs. I said, oh my God. So I told him to come upstairs. I was actually, at this point, I'd moved from the bathroom into a walk-in closet where I was crying. Not one of my best, not one of my best times. So there I am in my party dress with my mascara running down my face, crying my eyes out, and the guy comes upstairs, and I said, I'm really sorry, that was terrible. That's like the worst first date ever. I'm so sorry. And he said, no, that's okay. And I said, I don't know what happened. I guess I kind of got, I don't know, something happened. I got outside of my head, and I'm sorry. I said, but let me ask you something. I said, why did you stay? And this guy that I hadn't known for very long looked at me with these gorgeous eyes, and he said, well, why would I leave? You're my ride. So, right. So, took the guy home, and then he stalked me on Facebook for a few more dates, and well, we got married and just had a baby girl. So here's where Facebook can lead you. When you met me, I was just a pretty fine mess. You let me kick and scream on my party dress. You got me out my worst, not my west. Go away, no way. Please stay, go away. What a game I played. So what? I'm not falling. So what? I ain't falling. So what? I'm not falling in love with you. When you met me, I was just a pretty lost soul, unsteady, not ready, just a fool out of control. You dried my eyes, you wiped my nose, I would run away. Come catch me, stay, run away, but you always stayed, you always stayed. So what? I'm not falling. So what? I ain't falling. So what? I'm not falling in love with you. Who said lightning can't strike twice in color of these dark gray skies? It looks like heaven's frozen over all the grass is fully clovers now the wings finally fly. Little boy jumped the moon not a moment too soon, and everything upside down is upside right. And all the rain made way for the sunshine. Oh, I'm lucky, I'm so lucky, 'cause you're mine, all mine. When you met me, I was a right fine mess. You saved me all my broken pieces on the bed. You held my hand and you said, no, don't cry. You'll be fine, you'll be fine. And one day, I'll make you mine. So what if I fall in? So what if I fall in? So what if I fall in love with you? So what? That's a new genre I'm trying to break into. It's like saloon ragtime pop thing. It's gonna catch on. You just mark my words. It's gonna catch on. So, how you guys doing? Good?
Good.
Yes. You're very polite. Quiet and polite. How you guys doing? Good? Woo! Much better still. Polite. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
We're buzzing. I don't know. Something's buzzing. I'm doing great. That's not distracting at all with the camera. No, I'm kidding, it's cool. So it is October, and I travel a lot in October, and the reason is because there's a lot of events that happen in this particular month. Many of you may know today is actually National Coming Out Day, and it's also tomorrow, October 12th, will actually be the 14th, it's hard to believe it's 14th, the 14-year anniversary of the death of a young man that you probably have heard his name, but many of you may not know why you know the name. A young man named Matthew Shepard was killed in 1998 in a tragic hate crime that happened in Wyoming. Just by show of hands, kind of tell me if that sort of sounds familiar to you or you know what I'm talking about, yeah. So for those of you that kind of maybe have heard the name or don't remember the story, because it's been a while now, Matthew Shepard was a young man who was brutally murdered by two other young men because they didn't agree with how Matthew chose to love. He was living as an out man on campus, and he was attacked one evening, left really very brutally, and left to die strapped to a fence in Wyoming. He survived for 5 days, and he passed away on October 12th. And I was actually living in San Diego, California, in a little place by the beach when that happened. And doing music then, and doing the coffee house scene there. That was around the same time that Jewel and Jason Mraz and stuff were doing their stuff down in San Diego. And I just remember hearing this on the news, and I was thinking, you know, that's unbelievable that one human being two human beings could do this to another. And just because of not agreeing with how someone, you know, chose to love, that sounded horrific. So I went into my bedroom, and like I said before, I was half joking and half not. My therapy is my music, and that's sort of how I process things. So I went into my bedroom and I started writing the song, and it wasn't really a song about Matthew's death. It wound up being a song about his family. And I had seen his parents, Judy and Dennis, news, and I didn't know them, but I remember thinking that it must have been horrific to lose their child in this way, but also to have the entire country and then eventually the world know about it and be talking about it. And I thought it was so telling that what they chose to say in that moment was to tell parents just to go home and to hug their children. It kind of reiterated what my family had always taught me, was to love one another unconditionally. So instead of writing a song about Matt's death, I wrote a song about his life, something to sort of honor his family. And that was the end of it. I really thought I probably would never play the song again. I would just write it. And I thought a little bit more about it, so I recorded it and I sent it off to the Shepards with like a little card, sort of like my condolence. And a couple days later, I was at a show I was doing in San Diego, and I decided to play the song. I don't know what came over me, but I just thought it might be, I was hearing a lot about Matthew in the news at the time. It was all over the media. You really couldn't escape the story. Celebrities were speaking out about it, and people were holding rallies and candlelight vigils all over the country because it was so horrific. So I was sitting at this gig, and I started playing the song, and I closed my eyes because I didn't really remember all the words, and when I opened my eyes, something really amazing happened. There were probably about 50 or 60 people in the room, and they had come together, and they were now standing together, these people. Some of them were holding each other's hands, and these were all ages and all races and all religions, and many of them were crying, and it occurred to me that this story had touched everyone, because it wasn't the first time that we'd heard of someone being hurt because of hate. It wasn't the first time that we'd heard about a hate crime. There had been many others. Not long before that was the brutal killing of James Byrd. And so it touched me. And there was a woman there that evening that came up to me and she said, you know, I saw what happened here tonight, and I really think you should record that song. And I said, no, it's private. I don't want to record it. And she said, well, I really think that you should. And this woman is incredibly persistent, so about 37 voicemails later and 19 emails, she said, look, I have some studio time, I've worked it out, and you're going to go in and you're going to record this song. So I thought about how I wanted to do it, and I decided the only way that it would be right would be to make it a benefit single, and see to it that somehow the money raised, if we were to sell this song, could go to something, to see that something good came out of this. Well, at the time, Matthew's parents, Judy and Dennis, they had started a memorial fund in his name, and people were just sending them cards and checks, and they didn't really know what to do, so they started this fund, and I heard about it, so I sent them a little note, told them about about what was going on, that we recorded it. And at that point, Judy, his mom, listened to the song, and she heard about the song. She asked me to come out and meet her in Wyoming, so I did. I flew out to Wyoming, and I met Judy on Easter Sunday that following year. And it was very interesting to me because the only impression I had gotten of these people was what I saw on television, and you never know, really. I mean, when you're seeing someone through the eyes of a camera lens, you don't really know what they're like. But everything that I had thought about them as a family, and the love that they had, and the openness of their hearts came true when I met her. And she listened to the song finally, and she endorsed it on behalf of what then was the first year of the Matthew Shepard Foundation. And Judy Shepard is probably a name you also have heard of. She has become a tireless activist working for GLBT rights, getting the Matthew Shepard Act passed, which was a really huge victory for the movement. It ensures that, along with hate crime legislation, you can't be discriminated against. And she's like a one-woman powerhouse. She very literally wants to make sure that her son did not die in vain. And so she's done all these incredible things, making great strides. So this was 14 years ago. So I met Judy. She endorsed the song on behalf of her foundation. And at that point, I started touring the country, performing the song, often with her by my side. She would speak and I would sing. And we started selling the single, just kind of, at shows, and out of the trunk of my car was $5. And I used to say our distribution company was Honda Civic, because that's how I'd sell it. And we sold a couple hundred copies, and then we sold a few more of the single, and then over the years it's raised, well, that was a little bit older, so it's above $45,000 now, but making sure that 100% of the proceeds go to the Matthew Shepard Foundation. And what they're doing is they turn this foundation in Matthew's name into an anti-hate organization. It's a really beautiful charity. Their goal is to replace hate with understanding, acceptance, and compassion. And the idea is to go into schools, primarily go into schools where there are young children, and explain that hate is a learned behavior. And we fully believe that. We don't believe that children are born to hate anyone based on anything, the color of their skin, nationality, religion. It doesn't make any sense. So what they do is they try to offer safe places in schools. They try to make sure that students have things like a GSA, a Gay Straight Alliance, something like that. It's something that we feel is really important, a safe place for students and teens in high schools and in colleges. But mostly just to try to make sure that people treat one another fairly. That's really what we work to do. And what they've been able to accomplish is pretty unbelievable, just especially because of one woman's love for her son. So that was 14 years ago. So we released this little song, and it started off as something that I wrote in my bedroom and put on a little disc. And now the song has been recorded by several choirs. It's been performed in many, many countries. It's been performed by different colleges, different a cappella groups at different universities. Many different artists have covered it. And as a songwriter, there's probably no greater joy that you can have than to know that the words that you wrote for something that you firmly believe in are carried on by other people performing that song. It's probably, it is the most important thing that I've ever done, and I was really blessed to have a chance to meet this family. It taught me a lot about what people are supposed to do for one another and how we're supposed to treat one another. So I'd like to go ahead and sing that song right now. The song is called What Matters, and it's my belief that if everyone raised their children with unconditional love, then I probably wouldn't be here singing this song. And my hope is that one day this song will be obsolete and I won't have to sing it anymore. your heart beat the same as mine? Haven't I told you 1,000 times? And isn't the air in my lungs the same air you breathe? So who cares whose arms I'm all wrapped up in? Who cares whose eyes I see myself in? Who cares who I dream of? Who cares who I Heaven help me, for I am lost. What a price my love did cost. But here I am standing strong, and I am free. And didn't we share the same sunrise? And don't we all sleep in the same moonlight? Tell me, yes, isn't the blood in my veins the same blood you bleed? So who cares whose arms I'm all wrapped up in? Who cares whose eyes I see myself in? Who cares who I dream of? Who cares who I love? When I die, when they lay my body laid down, the peace that I will find, that'll be the peace that brings you all around. Just look at it, bring us all around. Tell me, doesn't my mother cry like everyone's smile? Father grieve for his lonely son. But tell me this, isn't my rainbow a little brighter? Because so who cares whose arms I'm all wrapped up in? Who cares whose eyes I see myself in? Who cares who I dream of? No, it doesn't matter who I dream of, 'cause in the end it only matters that I was loved. We are all loved. Love has no face. Love has no face. Love has no face. Who cares who I love? Thanks for listening. I have some postcards over there. I have some CDs for sale, but I also have some postcards over there about the Matthew Shepard Foundation and their work. They have an organization called MatthewsPlace.com, and it's for for young people and specifically for like college-age students to go on there, and they have special speakers every week, and lots of celebrities come in and they talk about diversity and stuff. It's very cool. If you want to sign up, it's MatthewShepherd.org, and if you just want to buy the MP3 of that song, you can download it right from that site, MatthewShepherd.org, and all the money raised goes right to the Matthew Shepherd Foundation to fight hate. Everybody still good?
Yep.
The hot dog hasn't shown up yet. A little bit depressed.
We were young, we were free, we were only 16 in the back of your brother's old truck. We went over a bump and the truck hit the mud. Damn if we didn't all get stuck. You helped me jump out, but I fell flat down on the ground. You picked me up and you brushed me off, and I didn't know what you'd say. With my skin red from blushing and my heart rushing, 'cause I didn't want to hair out of place. You wiped off the dirt and you gave me a shirt, and that's when I heard you say, you told me I'm beautiful. We were all running late to the church that day. The forecast called for rain. The flowers were all wrong and my dress was too long, and the preacher was a good hour late. When I finally made it down the aisle and I saw your face, I started my vows, but nothing came out, and I felt myself tear up. And my mascara ran down my painted face, and my nose began to run. With my eyes all puffy, you lifted my chin and said, honey, you're the one. And you told me I'm beautiful. In the hospital gown with the sweat running down, you said, girl, you're doing so good. Wiped the tears from my eyes and said, I know you're tired, but you should see how pretty you look. And when I heard a cry for the very first time, you said, babe, she looks just like you. You said, my God, she's beautiful too. Well, I can't remember a time or a place when you weren't right here by my side, cheering me on as I'm singing my songs and telling me everything's fine. My God, I wonder where I'd be without you. When my mind is gone and my memory fades and I can barely speak your name, when my legs are tired and my hands won't ride and my hair is all turned gray, you'll smile at me and say, I can't see one single wrinkle on that face, and you'll tell me I'm beautiful. You'll tell me I'm beautiful. You'll tell me I'm beautiful.
Thank you. You would know this, but that song is generally played on guitar. You don't want to hear me play guitar. I play very little, so just about 10 minutes before I did the show tonight, I figured out how I would do that on piano. It was written on piano, but it's got a country feel, right? So it's a guitar song, it's strings. I'll do a couple more for you, if that's okay. And then Wellington's, right? I'm kidding. Somebody thinks that like Adele sort of has the monopoly on like breakup songs, but I had it first. I really did. I did a show one time in Canada. It was a great story. I do that all the time too. I talk a lot. I did a show we got a call. Our agent called us and told us that we were going to London, and I was like, "Whoa, we're going to London to play a gig! Woo, UK! We'll talk British and I will drink a pint." And it was London, Ontario. It was Canada. It's Canada, yeah. Anyway, so I did a show up there once, and this is a long time ago. This is like 8 years ago, and we were touring. We brought our band up. We did actually a few shows in upstate New York, and then we went up to Canada. And I did a show, and when I finished, this woman came up to me, and she's like, "I had a great time." And I said, "Thank you." She said, "I had a great time." And I said, "I'm so glad." She said, "But I have one thing to say." And I said, "What?" And she said, "You need to pick better partners." And I said, "Is that your advice?" She said, "Well, every song is a breakup song." And I said, "No, not every song." And she said, "No, every song is a breakup song." And I said, "But you had a great time." She said, "Well, I broke up with someone." And so I went home, and I mean, you have like 8 shows in a row, and you get this one comment, and it kind of sticks with you, and you can't get it out of your head. And so, of course, you don't remember the nice things people, you just remember this one comment. So I went home, and I thought, that's not true. That's ridiculous. Not every song is a breakup song. I've got the one about the guy with that's a breakup song. But then right after that, I always do the one with in the rain, with my heart, with the rain. Right, okay, but the one after that is the one about the guy that moved to the other state, right? Yeah, okay, well, that's 3 songs. But then songs 4, 5, and oh my God. 7, 8, 9, oh my God. And then I was confused because I was like, no, that one's upbeat and it's got that tambourine thing in it. Oh no, but it's still about what a jerk that guy was. Yeah. They were all breakup songs, all of them. I'm gonna play a breakup song for you right now.
Looked at me and you could see I was broken. I was hoping that you'd show me a little grace. But you looked at me like you could see right through me, like you never knew me. Was that easy to erase? And in the morning when you roll on over, back the covers, is there someone in my place? Tell me, baby, is she all you wanted? Does she leave you haunted? Something familiar about her face. Some people roll in and try to steal your thunder, but with that thunder it comes a lot of rain. Nobody knows about the rain. without you, leaves you restless, leaves you wishing you were in another life. Some people roll in, try to steal your glory. Don't they know it's not their story to write? Nobody will get it right. No one get it right. Can you hear me now? 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 I could look at you and say you were broken, but I was hoping I could put you back. Sometimes you realize it's not the person, it's only what they like. I looked at you and I could see you were lonely. Lonely, let's lonely, lonely, let's lonely be. Lonely, let's lonely, let's lonely be. But maybe someday you will remember, you'll remember what you did to me. Some people roll and try to steal your thunder, but with that thunder comes a lot of rain. Nobody warns you about the rain. And can you hear me now? 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 Can you hear me now?
Thank you. I'm going to do two more songs for you, and we will call it a night, Keystone. One of the charities that I've been lucky enough to work with actually came through the Matthew Shepard Foundation. Basically, I lived in Los Angeles for a while. LA is LA. It's exactly, anyone know LA, like from there, or lived there, or visit there a lot, or not so much. It's a beautiful place, and the weather's fantastic, and it always seems like it's always 75. And it's a lot of what you would think it is. It's a lot of entertainment people, and it's a lot of glitz, and it's a lot of glam. And I lived up there for a little while, and I was sort of disillusioned by some of the things that you might imagine someone would be disillusioned by in Hollywood. It was a great place for me, and I was really successful, and I had a lot of great things happen, great shows, and had my music do some really cool things in different movies and different TV shows. But the people kind of surprised me. I had a few experiences with people where I didn't think they were exactly sort of genuine. And around that time that this was all happening to me, it was around the same time that I started working more closely with the Matthew Shepard Foundation. And the nice thing about that was that I got to travel, and I got to tour the country, and I got to talk to people in colleges and people in all different parts of the country, and sort of just meet real people doing real things. And through that, I got to work with a charity in Wisconsin. And the charity is called ARCH. It's the Association for the Rights of Citizens with Handicaps, lowercase h. And they work closely with the Matthew Shepard Foundation, closely meaning they have sort of the same fundamentals and the same ideas, in that they are all about sort of embracing differences and sort of accepting people. So I did one of my charities out there. They're based in Wisconsin, and I did one of my charity events out there, and then I went back to Hollywood, and kind of spent a day on the freeway, stuck in traffic like you always are in Los Angeles. You never go anywhere. People buy nice cars because that's all you're doing is sitting on a freeway looking at everyone's cars. But people were sort of like, I'm on the freeway and I'm looking at people talking on their cell phones, and I'm looking at all these beautiful cars and beautiful homes and beautiful palm trees, and kind of sort of realizing the not realness of it all, as it kind of were. Don't get me wrong, 75-degree weather is way better than shoveling a driveway. I'm saying that, but so I thought a little bit about what we as people sort of think of as beautiful and what's sort of beautiful. And I wrote this next song that I'm going to do for you, and I'm really very lucky because it's been sort of embraced by that charity, and I've had a lot of people sort of do some things with this song. So that's a little of the backstory. A lot of times you hear songs and you don't really know where they come from or what kind of brought them to life, but that's what started this one.
Just complain like that blind old man who, when he finally saw his face, he said it looks like beauty comes with age. Have you ever thought about fear? It's the voice of doubt that whispers softly in your ear. It's the times you question all the things you didn't say. It's the one that got away. But I believe that history was meant to be rewritten. There are those who say you should accept the path you're given. I think, what a shame if those before us had listened. So let your own voice be all that you hear when the world tells you no. Cover your ears, let your two eyes be all that you need, so you can be yourself. What is true beauty? Have you ever thought about words? There are those that lift you up and make you tough, and others that just hurt. If you never heard, never would you ever even know what it means. But I believe that history was meant to be rewritten. There are those who say you should accept the path you're given. I think, what a shame if those before us listen. So let your own voice be all that you hear when the those who won't trust you, but you'll stand your ground, your head held high. Fire in your own conviction, but you'll carry out and you'll pass them by. And think of how sweet your victory's gonna be when you come out on the other side. So let your own voice be all that you hear when the world tells you no. Cover your ears, let your two eyes be all that you need, so you can decide what is true beauty. True beauty lies in me.
I get asked to sing this song probably more than I get asked to sing any other song. A lot of places that I go, they want me to perform this. They like the lyrics. I didn't write this song, so I should have told you I did. That would have been fun. But I like the lyrics a lot too. I sing this at a lot of sort of like pride events.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating in the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, just like a house of cards, one below from caving in? Do you ever feel so buried deep, 6 feet underground? No one hears your screams. Don't you know that there's a spark in you? Yes, there's a fire in you. You just gotta ignite the light, let it shine. side of you. Now it's time to let it through. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go up as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go up, leave them falling down. Love is love is love is love. 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 Love is love.
Thank you. It's my last song. I'm going to do this song because I haven't done it in a while. I think it'd be fun to do with you guys because you seem like such an interactive audience, aren't you? That's what Lucas told me and Lucy. They were like, you know, this is a very interactive campus. They're just there, really, they want to be involved and they love to sing, is what he said actually. Karaoke, big karaoke night, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Big karaoke night here at Keystone, right? Okay, so here's the deal. A lot of the times I travel with a band, a lot of times I travel solo, and we usually do this song only when I'm with a band, but I'm feeling really brave tonight because I feel like you are accepting and loving, and we're very close. There's tens of you that want to do this, I can just tell. So I play this song, it's an 80s song. Anyone like 80s music? Yeah? There's one person? 80s? Seriously? There you go. There you go. Oh, now, yeah, secretly, though, look at your iPod. I know what's going on. And it has a really huge drum solo part, and also there's a whole singing part that the other guys do in the band, but I can't do two things. I mean, I can play piano and sing, but I can't sing two parts, you know, like that would be singing two parts at once. Anyway, so did I mention I had a baby 2 months ago? Okay, so you're going to, and actually tonight, like for the show, I was like, I have to practice Randy's songs. I mean, I've done a few shows, I've done some things locally, but I haven't really toured, you know, and I thought maybe I was gonna, like, I didn't really know what I was gonna, like, sing for you. I thought I might sing this, you know. Down by the meadow, the itty bitty pool swam 3 little fishes and the mama fishy too. Swim, said the mama fishy, swim if you can, and they swam, he likes it. Swam, swam, swam all over the, you know it? You know it?
No.
Swam, swam, swam all over the dam. Did that one chick, because that's just what I've been singing lately, so I thought maybe that would be a good time. And then I'm like, am I teaching my daughter to sing dam? Boom, boom, did that one, don't you? Anyway, all right, so this song. So here's the deal. There's a drum solo in it. I don't have a drummer, so what you need to do to help me out when we get to the drum solo part is you need to, like, take out your keys or use your hands. I can see you, all of you are reaching for your keys. Very interactive group, yes, completely. There's one person in the back, yeah. And you have to, you work here. Thank you, Lucas, you do. Anyway, like, use your hands, like, tap on your legs, like, use your feet, make noise, hit the person next to you. Not really hard, that's when we find out who needs anger management classes. Hit your seat or something. In other words, when it's time for the drum solo, make noise, okay? And also, when the singing part comes along, you have to sing, and you can't leave, and you can't sneak out, because I'll probably make you get up on stage and dance or something. On stage and dance. I will make you come up on floor and dance. Anyway, all right. Are we feeling good about this? Can I get a woo? There you are, Keystone. She's like, I just got the baby to sleep. What are you doing? Love, I get so lost sometimes. Days pass, and this emptiness fills my heart.
rise, the light beneath the door. I am completed. See the doorway of 1,000 churches, the resolution of all my fruitless searches. Oh, I see the light in your eyes. Guys, come on. This is the breakdown part, and it's just broken down, actually. It's just, it must be the room. There's some kind of a weird, like, delay. It's a delay where you're not singing. It's a very odd delay. Let's try that again. Oh, in your eyes. A little in your eyes. Peter Gabriel had like a manly sounding choir. I'm saying this. Your eyes. Yes, a little more. Please don't send me back to California saying that Keystone had no soul. So, I don't know, somewhere between Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, soul went to die. I don't know what happened. Your eyes. Come on. Your eyes. Oh, in your eyes. Keep going. This is the breakdown. Your eyes and da 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 da. 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 Not bad, not bad. All right, drum solo coming up. Are you ready? Not yet. Too soon. I understand. Here we go. Not yet. It'll be really obvious. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, it's good. It's really, it's like you're bringing sexy back from the dead. Seriously, if you can hear it from me, it's just like a bunch of keys, somebody's cell phone going off, and these two guys up in the front actually doing something on your leg. Very nice. A little rascal jazz. There are some of you that aren't doing anything, and I'm gonna single you out if you don't do something. I'm not. Thank you. Oh, so we got the arms in the air, which is really not a drum solo at all. You didn't really understand the concept of making it sound like drums. You went with actually pantomiming. It's okay. It was like a pantomime tambourine. That's okay. Any dancers? Any dancers? Am I seeing things, or is there a light going on? Did we set off an alarm? Oh my God! I love it. I thought I set off an alarm. I was like, that's just my life. That's pretty much what happened. Nice. Okay, kids, stop. I'm not going to mention the people that hit the people next to them, because that's not nice. Ready? All right, in your eyes, please. I want to be able to say that Keystone College rocked it. Here we go. In your eyes, the light beat. I am completing your eyes. See the doorway, 1,000 churches, the resolution of all my fruitless searches. Oh, I see the light and beneath the night. Oh, I want to be that complete, and I don't mean that. Oh, I want to be that in your eyes, in your spontaneous fade out. I love it. Okay, so just one more thing before I go. Oh, I was hanging out at Keystone College on a Thursday night. I was hanging out in the new room, and I was wondering what they do to the pine, because the pine's gone. I was hanging out with a whole lot of people that had a lot of soul. There feel the love. And I was driving through a cloud of sun today. And do you know what we saw on our way? We saw all the beautiful trees, all the foliage. It was for y'all. It was for y'all. And I said, we don't have trees like that out in sunny California. No, no, no. We only got palm trees in sunny California. No, 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 no. But you've got the trees, you've got the trees. It makes me so happy. You got the trees, you got the trees. That's what I saw. You know, I also saw a hot dog. I saw a hot dog outside of your diner. And I said, it's 40 degrees out. Nothing could be finer than a hot dog waving at me to come on in. Hold up, I'm gonna go to Wellington's, cause everyone tells me that is fun. It's Wellington's and Bells if you wanna go to have some fun. And that's it, only two places, or you can come right here to Keystone and have some cookies. This is a late night show at Keystone College. This is a 8 o'clock late night show at Keystone College. With all the people bringing all the love. I felt the love at Keystone College. And I said, look at all the people, look at all the people, look at all the happy, happy people at that beautiful campus. Look at all the happy, happy trees, look at all the happy, happy people, look at all, where's the hot dog? You did not come to my show, you did not come to my show. I will remember him, and I will wish that he came to see me sing. But that's okay, tell him I said goodbye, cause I'm on my way back to Cali. But thank you, Keystone, for bringing the love. Thank you, Keystone, for showing some love. And thank you for singing so loudly. I really appreciate it. Sarcasm, you see. One more time, let's rock the house now. One more time, we're gonna break it down, y'all. Here we go, last time. In your eyes, the light, the heat. I am, wow. In your eyes, the light, the heat. I am complete. I see the doorway of 1,000 churches, the resolution of all my fruitless searches. Oh, I see the light and the no in your eyes, and no in your eyes, no in your eyes, no in your eyes, oh, in your eyes, in your eyes. Thank you, guys. You're good sports. Thanks. I realized at the end there I didn't quite prepare you that we would be clapping and singing, and that threw you all for like, what? What are we doing? No, you guys are great sports. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thanks for coming out on a Thursday night. I hope that a little bit of what I talked about or spoke about made you think a little bit, and if anything that I said interests you, and maybe finding out how you can create change in your own community, work to end hate. It's a wide spectrum too. There's lots of different ways to reach out in your community. There's lots of different things you can do. We have some information about the Matthew Shepard Foundation. They are doing really great things to end hate, and even if you're not sure, like you've never been involved in an organization like that, even if you just want to find out information about what they do to really young kids like 5, 6, and 7-year-olds to help end bullying. It's a big thing that obviously is very prevalent in the news right now, and so if you want to find out information about that, they're doing really great things. So thank you for being here. Thanks for being a really cool campus that I will come back to anytime, and I'll tell the hot dog I said hi. So I think that's very strange. You have a hot dog dancing in the winter. Okay, have a great night. Thank you.